Early in the year 2403, the Starship Emmett Till is towing a captured time ship, the bird of prey that prize hunter used, to a starbase, where an anomaly is about to happen. Captain Nog, Commander Mahoney, and the crew are on the ship, whereas they have given new division uniforms to the crew because of their having ruined the ones in the other mission. Also, it was about time anyway. Well, you're back now from the bizarre mission to the giant planet. Huh, the giants turned out to be automatons. The new ranks are temporary, although it could be made official when we return to the fleet.
Normally I would not go for something so cheery like gold, but very well. It probably isn't a good idea to make me command color.
Good morning, everyone. If you say so. Don't be so negative.
I just returned from sick bay treatments, and my face is no longer going to melt. Thanks very much. Looks good. I'm surprised we didn't notice.
Now I shall be honored to serve the ship. Uh-huh. I'm surprised that after our last mission, we didn't get booted out of the fleet. Instead, we got promoted. And there's that. Temporarily, just because we're not currently assigned to a new mission. We're to report to Starbase for repairs. Also, we have a captured bird of prey and several villains in our brig. And there's that. We can deal with that later. We're going to have to tell somebody.
I'm picking up something unusual. A gravity wave anomaly.
What kind of anomaly? Shields to ready.
Subspace radio anomaly, designed to disturb the area and be noticed.
So the anomaly is a distress call then?
Quite possibly.
How long till it hits?
It's fluctuating, minutes or now.
The wave is upon us. Shields.
The wave does contain a distress call. No damage to shields.
Let's hear it. This is Cheetor from the planet Cybertron. We need your help. Here's our coordinates. Cybertron? That sounds familiar.
The planet is 2 light years off, but we're close to Sol also.
We should keep the bird of prey with us. We'll investigate the planet. Plot a course for it. Aye, sir. Course plotted and laid in. How is that? We've replied to your distress call. Do you need assistance? You're not what I expected. I am Cheetor. Captain, the aliens appear to be robots in disguise. How can that be? We never met them before. I am Optimus Primal. You appear to be humans. This should not be. It has changed here since the return from the other space-time continuum. We've never met you before. Please advise. Allow me, Captain. I'm Chief Engineer Vince Mahoney. Do you need repairs? Well, when the other Megatron and some of the Decepticons left, the other Megatron showed up, and some of his people and the Preds made an alliance and broke the truce. We should not get involved in their war, the Prime Directive and all that. I'll keep that in mind. The Predacons still want to cheat, Primal. I think Big Bot is aware of that, Cheetor. Indeed, and these humans have some sort of directive. The Federation has a non-interference directive in case we run into other life forms, usually less advanced ones. But since you clearly have something like warp drive, you're not less advanced. We do. The Predacons are sore they lost the war and may use your dimension tech, or ours, to alter the past. We must stop them.
The robots have sent an interceptor vessel to us. It'll be here in moments.
We must stop them, Optimus. Maximals to the shuttle. Hurry. Maximize. The fool robots. They must be trying to board the ship. They cut the power. Everyone out of the brig. You don't have to tell me twice. We shall flee quickly. Yes. The other robot ship is latched on as well. They're headed this way. What the heck are you? Stop where you are. Hurry, Predacons. Seize the ship. Yeah. They're right up ahead, sir. But the Maximals are coming. We may have to wreck them. Maybe in the boarding chute. We're not going that way, T-Rex. To their space bridge. Fleshy bots try to stop us. Gross. Ew. Waspinator, look for enemies. Yes. The Maximals are here. Get the Predacons.
With what? Your charming good looks? Damn straight.
Stop your yapping and do it.
They're fewer in number than us. Gang up.
Gotcha. Ah, excellent. The fool humans have left their temporal unit running. Yes. Good, then. We can steal it. Stop, you foolish robot. You have no idea that works. I'm a robot. We have intelligence far beyond your puny fleshy mind. Stand aside. Wouldn't it pay to use us as guides, What? We do not work with flesh creatures. Activate the space bridge, sir. It's right there. I knew that, you fool. Stand aside. No, Megatron, don't do it. Like I would listen to you. I will now go where the future will be changed, and the truce never existed. We will be rulers of our own destiny. Yes.
Tandy, activate the temporal shields.
Yes, sir. The metal planet is gone. Gone? Gone where? Erased from the timeline. Temporal shields are holding. Everyone, we need to figure out what happened. The Preds up and went in your temporal space bridge in the cargo bay.
And they took Prize Hunter, Koloth, Critical, and Cyrano with them.
No telling what kind of mischief they're going to get into. Oh, I have an idea where they're going. Oh, really? You should go to the bird of prey, which is smaller and more agile, and go after them.
I have no idea where they're going.
I know where they'll be. Have space-time powers.
You need to go to sickbay. You're a mess.
No time for that. I'll give you the coordinates.
I guess there's time for that, but then straight off to sickbay. I have the coordinates.
Get him to sickbay. It seems we did not lose all of our prisoners.
It seems like some of our prisoners have been returned to us.
They will be heading to your planet, to Earth, of 2022, because there's a movie coming out next year there. How do you know that? Cillian space is connected to the past. We know of it, having scanned you. Let's take the Maximals with us and go get the Predacons.
With all due respect, sir, that sounds insane. Well, better than our honeymoon in 3190. Let's go for it.
I thought you'd need me. I used me Cillian powers to fix myself. Get off my chair. Helm and navigation are ready, sir. When I was in sickbay, I found this ad for a Transformers movie in 2023. The Predacons will likely use this ad for the movie as a starting point, perhaps to go back and prevent it. Huh? It is a stretch, but why not? The Maximals can follow in behind. We will all set a course for the past. Sounds like a plan. Maximals, move out.
They'll be heading to your Earth of 2022.
I head toward the star and swing around in time warp. Yeah, we do this every day for the kicks. Are you sure it's such a good idea to leave the Maximals to find their enemies? I think they'll have a better chance of finding them than we will.
I will join the Maximal ship as our eyes and ears.
I will allow it.
If any harm comes to her, you will answer to me.
No harm will come to her, I promise. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go fast. Always gets me when you fellas do that. Saw those auto guys on TV last week. Blasted goody two-shoes. What do you got for me? The usual human? Targeting devices for your weapons trade? Explosive compounds? And something new? Would you fleshling clients want a device that can jam primitive Terran radar? Do you mind not calling me fleshling? Sounds kind of, I don't know, dirty. But hey, a radar jammer, you say? I do indeed say. What's it worth to you? How many you got? Let's just say I can get as many as you need. Well, then let's say a quarter cube of energon each. A full cube. 2/5, and that's my final offer. There are many others that will offer me 5/6 of a cube. Sandstorm, what are you doing here? Why, just making sure the space bridge is fully functional. I was a scientist before the war, you know. But what are you doing here? There were no transfers scheduled for today. I've heard the auto fools might be planning an attack, so I came by to investigate. But I see you're here, and since you can easily withstand any assault... Very well. Waste the few eons of existence you have in futile pursuits. See if I care. Why do you bother, Hound? You can't take it with you. Fine, I can't. Neither can you. But you still want what I can get, and I can only get it from Cybertron. Deep space? Had Scorponok betrayed me or no? I don't believe that I trusted Sandstorm. I deserve to be marooned in space.
Sandstorm, where did he go?
I don't know, Slipstream. The space bridge overloaded and he disappeared.
I will have to report your treachery to Megatron. He will not be pleased.
How are you alive, flesh creature? I'm a Cillian. I have powers to a limited capacity. To be stranded out in space again with you. The feeling's mutual, but we seem to be on the hull of a ship. Apparently. Dun, 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 dun. Command, we've got something on the sensors. Small, metallic, emitting signals across frequencies, and another one, possibly a probe. We detected life signs. Does it appear hostile? No, sir, but it seems to have spotted us. It was sending a hail. On the screen. Energon, I repeat, I have been marooned due to an unfortunate accident and need help. I can pay in high-quality Energon. Repeat. Energon? Perhaps some sort of fuel, Commander, but pay for help. Sounds like this probe was built by the Ferengi. We still can't entirely trust the robots. Yeah, something happened to the time stream and we're still in it. I'm not sure it is a probe, Koloth, but in any event, send it directions to the docking ring, and let's welcome the latest visitor to the Emmett Till. And the Cillian that's with him. We will meet him as well. Do you have maneuvering capabilities in either of your forms? Yeah, but I was adrift. Can you bring our guest to Pylon 3? Aye, sir, but what is it? I'll tell you in a moment, Chief. As soon as you can, get him to the Emmett Till. Run a detailed visual scan in all spectrums, and bring me the results. Put him in slowly. I want some time to do some research. Koloth, come with me. Viticola, you need meet in ops. We'll be facing a rather unique situation. You're hiding something, I know that. Patience, Koloth. I want to see something. Come in, Chief. The scans are in your computer, sir. What exactly is that thing? You call it a him. Do you recognize it? Not that individual, no, but I'm pretty sure I know his race. Race? That's a robot. You mean the race who built it? Him, Chief. That's a free-willed sentient life form. Just like your Commander Data. Now, let us take a look at those scans. Free-willed? Like Data? Sir, what are you talking about? There are only a handful of Soong-type androids in existence, and certainly no robots like that. A bit of Earth history they don't like to talk about at the Academy, Chief, or tell aliens about. Sorry, Koloth. Yes, Commander. I'm very busy. Every minute I'm here is another minute I'm not watching Nog. He'll have half the Emmett Tills sold out for Monday on the time this meeting takes place. I'm glad you're here, Viticola. We're about to have trouble. Blast it, Javon. Tell me what's going on here. But I'll tell you. Our guest is a Decepticon. A member of a race called the Transformers. Decepticon? Sounds charming. They are, generally speaking. They're violent, treacherous, imperialistic, and cruel. Those were their good points. Javon, who are these beings? What do you know about them? A relatively peaceful group called Autobots, and their foes, the Decepticons. At least, that's what the Autobots told us. All right, Koloth Viticola in Chief, here's the facts. This isn't supposed to be common knowledge, but you need to be prepared. Centuries ago, Earth was used as a base by two warring factions from a world called Cybertron. Don't look so amused. In their language, we come from a world called Soil. There are two main factions. A relatively peaceful group called Autobots, and their foes, the Decepticons. At least, that's what the Autobots told us. Over the years, we've learned nothing was quite so clear-cut. In any event, these beings are free-willed, sentient robots, with emotions, drives, desires, all their own. They were all possessed at least two forms, a robotic form and some other mode, usually a vehicle. The war lasted until the early 21st century on Earth, and was responsible for Earth developing many technologies, but it also led to factionalism and the horrors of the late 21st century. By the time we had cleaned up that mess, they were gone, and it was something that the world government, the forerunner of the Federation, decided that was best left out of the history books, unless you were slated for command. There hasn't been a Transformers scene since around 2022, until now. Viticola, he's probably dangerous. Keep a very close eye on him. Koloth, Crass, find out how we got here. Look for a ship, a space rift, anything. He obviously isn't a space traveler. Hound of the Decepticons. I am Hound. More or less. I prefer to think of myself as a free agent. Well, follow me, Mr. Hound. Very well. Well, do you need repairs? How long do you expect to be here? I am mostly functional. The damage done is purely external. I expect clang. Fleshling, will you simply drive me to where you need to go? My name is Viticola. Now, you know, Viticola, we have something in common. Oh, what's that? Yes, you possess subspace extensions, just as I do. I've never met a humanoid like that before. Subspace extensions? Yeah, you're a transformer, like me, aren't you? I am not a robot. No, of course you're not. But you have another form, don't you? Come on, I showed you mine. I have many forms. This isn't even my real one. Tell me more about these subspace extensions. When you changed forms, haven't you ever wondered where your extra mass goes? Not really. Well, it goes into subspace, just like mine. It's something nearly all shape changes have in common. Fascinating, I'm sure. Would the Decepticons' superior air power be most useful here or there? How could we use the Autobots' innate cooperation and concern for each other against them? And how can we use it to channel our own troops bickering to constructive purposes? Mighty Megatron. I do not need your flattery, Sandstorm. Simply make your report and get out of range of my optics. Hound reported a possible assault on the space bridge. I returned here to alert you to this rumored attack. I know you would not wish me to leave even the slightest possibility that Hound was telling the truth, unverified. And in truth, as I flew away, I did detect an explosion. Oh, look, here's Scorponok. He is lying. No, I think not, Galvatron from the other timeline. So many decisions, but I am capable of making them. I have led the Decepticons for 6 million years, and nothing as yet. He is lying. And your report, little Scorponok. The inevitable occurred. A report. Very well. The space bridge exploded and Hound was lost. You saw no Autobots. No, I really wasn't looking. I didn't think it was important. Get down to repairs. I'm sure Trauma will enjoy working on you. As for Sandstorm... Yes, glorious leader. Can you offer an explanation? We have lost Hound, which robs us of ruination, which leaves us unbalanced against the Autobots. You were at the space bridge most of the day. I look forward to hearing your story. I told you all I know, my leader. Perhaps the Autobots have sabotaged the space bridge, hoping to trap you. Had I but known, I would have sprung the trap myself. Leave me, Sandstorm. Constructicons, head for the space bridge with all the supplies you can carry. I want the system repaired by this world's next solar cycle, or I'll have you broken down into scrap. New species meets new opportunities. Can I give you something? Romulan ale? Lubricant? Low-friction lubricant would be useful, Fleshling. Call me Nog. Anything you like, we can get. In high demand, get the stuff we use in the cargo loaders and put it in a nice glass. If I might ask, where did you come from? The Gamma Quadrant? Are there more like you? Here. I come from Cybertron. I didn't know what quadrant it's in. My species does not use your coordinate system. You didn't come through the wormhole, then? No. Nog, you run things here, don't you? Oh, I dabbled here and there. But I'm mostly just a simple bartender, happy to serve my customers. I see. I was misinformed then. I was told you were the man to see about a deal. And part of serving customers is seeing to their special needs. Oh, why don't you and I go somewhere more private, like my office? Not as such, but I think I understand. Now then, I believe you mentioned the word deal. I did. What can you offer? Myself. You've never seen anything like me before, have you? My technology is totally alien to you. Let's just say it's not common, but I don't think you're going to trade off pieces of yourself. No, but I can fill your computers with technological schematics, basic engineering principles, theoretical constructs, things your scientists might not discover for centuries. You could let these discoveries leak out slowly and reap tremendous rewards. That's delightful, but what do you expect in return? Two things. First, energy, lots of it. Secondly, a way home. A way home? You don't know? I arrived here by accident. I didn't plan on staying. Well, I'll see what I can do. As for the energy, I might be able to score some dilithium, fully refined. I also need a computer terminal to work from. Certainly, there's one right over there. Thank Primus I can get home if there's a problem. I'd be glad to run it for you. No, I'm already done, thank you. Done? But you were only there for... Oh well, if there's anything else I can do for you. Find you a way home. I don't even know where you live. I bet Javon and the others are working on it too. You allowed a giant terrorist robot on board the Emmett Till. Why didn't you just shoot it? This could be an advanced scout for the Borg, or a Cardassian plot, or... Major? And you evidently kept an entire war out of your history books. Here I am trying to contact my people, the Federation or their friends, and I discover you revise your own history. And furthermore... Major? And if this isn't enough, he's been seen talking to Nog. What? Destroying sentient life without cause is not the Federation way. If there's been a crippled Cardassian ship out there, we would have aided it too. And the Decepticons are not Borg. If they were, we wouldn't be here by now. And lastly, I didn't write the history books. Note that I've done nothing to keep a Hound's presence on the Emmett Till a secret. Hound. Silly name for a giant killer robot. Believe me, there were some with worse, besides their code names. All of the Transformers humans encountered were part of one of two vast military units. Oh, so he's involved in a war, and what happens when his enemies show up? I hope you're not planning on dragging Bajor into this, because that's the other reason I brought him on board. I want to know what he's doing here. He shouldn't exist now. None of his kind have been seen for nearly 300 years. If the war is flaring up again, we need to know and be prepared. Now let us see what the others have found.
Well, Commander, there's definitely some sort of a phenomenon out there. A few light seconds past the Emmett Till. Near the wormhole, but not inside it.
Also, it seems to be fairly stable, possibly even two-way, even though it seems to be closed at the moment. I'm not sure if we can reactivate it or not.
If we did, would we be able to reseal it? The last thing I want is more of them coming through.
Get on it, you two. Dismissed. Nog, I shouldn't be telling you this, but... Yes? They found a rift not connected to the wormhole. Our visitor probably came through it. They might even be able to get it open again. Excellent, excellent. How much does this reduce my debt? Reduce your debt, sir. If you wished me to pay you for that information, you should have fixed a price first. But since I'm a nice guy, you can have one glass, a small glass of anything in the bar. Good stuff, too, not replicated. Ah, may the Pariths curse you. You have your profits, and I have mine. Good day, sir. Call me Hound, Nog. Hound, then. Why don't we go into my office and discuss our arrangements, away from all this noise and bother, and away from my gambling tables? Yes, that would be fine. Let me simply take these and put the coins in my trunk. Now then, Hound, about your payment. When you've paid me, Nog, you will have your answers. My agents have located the rift which brought you here. They're working on reopening it. I'll keep you posted. And that dilithium? And yeah, dilithium. Look, why don't we just agree to meet halfway? Say, half of your data for the key to the rift. All or nothing, Nog. We had a deal. A quarter of your data. If you can't meet my needs, I'm sure someone else can. Your people have a leader, don't you? A Negus, I believe. Perhaps he could help me. My uncle, the Negus, is very busy. He'll wait weeks or years before he can see him. But he happens to be a very close relative of mine. I'll be happy to intercede for you. Why don't you go play some Dabo or something while I take care of a trivial matter? Very well. I'm sure arrangements will continue to be profitable. Nog, what are you doing? How did I not notice that you were the wall? You must be slipping. Perhaps. How's your work progressing, Doctor? Very well, nicely, Megatron. Watch as I activate this probe. Ah! Fascinating, Doctor. Is he functional? Yes, get up. You could have let me expire from my wounds. Why do you insist on prolonging this existence? Your wounds weren't fatal. Not even close. Believe me, I know terminal damage when I inflict, see it. Now, let's see if it works. Can I go now? Not that I have anything worth doing. Yes, you do. Get the rest and meet me in the main bay. I have a mission for you. Decepticons attend. Have heard from Hook that the space bridge has been repaired. Apparently it was sabotaged. Probably by some lousy Autobot. It took Hound to a rift in space and time. Yes.
Fortunately, we can replicate the phenomenon, but only for a short while. In a few hours, the changing patterns of space-time will render the rift unreachable.
I want you to go through the rift and return Hound. Why, those overgrown go-karts are going to rescue him. Besides, I still owe him for what he did to my brain. I'm amazed he could find it. Why, you lousy... In your own inadequate way, you are correct. I rescind my decision. You and the rest form the rescue team. We'll be watching the whole time and reporting to me. Are there any questions? No, sir. In that case, fly out. Viticola, this is Commander Javon. How are things going on with Hound? I've been watching him all day. He's cheated at Dabo, but I figured that's poetic justice. He's been talking to nearly every alien who'd listen, and he never tells the same story twice. He's a liar, a thief, and probably a lot worse. Reminds me of someone else we have on the Emmett Till. At least he hasn't killed anyone yet. Do you know what sort of weapons he uses? There aren't any weapons on my promenade. According to what I remember from the histories I managed to find, they keep weapons stored in a sort of personal subspace fold. If he ever decided to go into combat mode, he would summon them out. With any luck, he won't do that. Anything else? Yes, his name is not Hound. That much I'm certain of. He slipped up once or twice. I know when a machine, is using an alias. I suspected that, Constable. Stick close to him. We're receiving a hail.
We are the Quintessons. You have our property. Return it to us or face dire consequences.
Koloth, closed channels. Well, do you know what they are? Is this another little secret war we're not supposed to know about? No, Major, I have no idea what they are. But I do know what they're after. A robot friend down there on the promenade. I'll have Vita Cola shipping right out. Not so fast, Major. What makes you think they have a right to him? A right to him? I don't understand. Well, he's not exactly the most honorable being you'll ever meet. That machine is still a sapient being, and under Federation law, we can't return him.
What about the Prime Directive? Can't interfere in others' cultures, affairs, and all that rot.
You weren't so eager to invoke the Prime Directive when your friend was involved, Chief. Ask their commander to come aboard. We'll get this all straightened out. Meanwhile, I'm going down to the promenade. Oh, hold on, sir. I'm detecting a significant Borg signature from their vessel. Not sure why.
The Borg, after all these years in disguise?
The Borg do not do disguise. Maybe the Quintessons got a hold of some of their tech. We need to find out. I look into it. I'm going to pay our guest Hound a visit. What can I do for you, Commander? Your presence here has attracted some unusual guests. I'd like to know what you know about them. They call themselves Quintessons. Do you recognize that craft? Yes, Fleshling. It's a Quintesson craft. Why'd you summon them here? We didn't. They claim to own you. Do you agree to this? No, Fleshling, I don't. Very well. Radio that ship. Tell them no deal.
You have made a grievous error. You will be destroyed.
Captain, or whatever your title is.
Call me the Supreme One.
Supreme One, why don't you beam aboard? We can work this out like reasonable beings.
No deal. Return our property to us in 5 minutes, or face total annihilation.
They hung up. Could this get any worse? We've been sitting here for hours. When are those lazy bums going to be done? I want to hit something. Sure, you always want to hit something. I'm glad I don't share your baser instincts.
Watch it, or I'll hit you.
Would you? Don't anger me, or That's enough for both of you. We have a mission. We must plan strategy carefully. We do not know what awaits us on the other side of the rift. Strategy? You hit it till it stops moving, then hit it some more. Yes, Galvatron from the other timeline, sir. The repairs have been accomplished. We can maintain the rift for 1 tera an hour. Work fast. Commander. Yes, Chief, I know I'm not going to like hearing this. The rift is reopened from the other side. A spaceship appears to have come through, but the energy readings we're getting are off the scale, and it appears to be mounting weapons. Friend of yours? Associates, Commander. They... Slipstream, this is Hound. I read you. I have the key to victory over the Autobots. Can you return home?
I can, unlike you. I know what I'm doing. Get out here. We don't have much time.
Fleshling, I need to rejoin my associates and leave. Thank you for your hospitality, but I won't be seeing you again, especially since the Quintessons are going to turn your ship into orbiting rubble in a minute or less. There's an airlock on level 6 we can use. You can beam you there. Energize. That was close. You opened your bay at the last minute.
You didn't say anything about Quintessons.
They appear to be coming after us. We have only one chance. Red alert. Shields. Weapons ready. The Quintessons are backing off. They're going after the shuttle. Koloth, Chief, try to jam the sensors. Give the robots a little breathing room, as it were. And without any luck, well, the Quintessons will destroy them before they destroy us. Now you can see why we kept these guys a secret. Imagine your runabout transforming into a robot. What if we do with a Quintesson wins? They won't. The robots are in the rift. The Quintessons are moving to engage. Prepare a quantum torpedo spread. Warn them off. They've entered the rift, sir. Fire past them and inhale them. Yes, sir.
Warning shot. But our war was not with you, fleshlings. We would rather die than be captured.
That can be arranged. They all fell into the rift and seemingly exploded, sir. I can explain. You'd better. Why did you try to sell them dilithium? I sold them fake dilithium. It'll disintegrate in hours. Then I guess you didn't betray us after all, yet. Never, but I suspect our roles have been altered by whatever this is. So I've noticed, so what should we do? Find out what the bird of prey is. That'd be a good idea. Repair the ship and make way to return to Earth. That is where they'll be. Earth of middle 2022. How can we be sure of that? It seems we're already sort of there, Nog, just in an alternate time stream. And if the Borg are here too, they can attack in this time period, assimilate Earth, with no resistance. Then we must stop them. You gave schematics of our technology to fleshlings? No, of course not, mighty Megatron. Listen, the fleshlings always want our technology. So back on Cybertron, I had some fakes specially developed and encoded. They look like the real thing. They contain just enough truth to seem real, but they're totally nonsensical. As for the dilithium you received, claimed to be crystalline energon,
It crumbled into dust, sir.
Hound, you are worse than your doppelganger. Swindle! Dun, 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 dun. Quintessons, where is Galvatron? You will speak. Yes.
We don't know. The torpedo blaster was clear.
Trauma, get the information from the heads. By any means necessary. Yes. It would be my pleasure, Megatron from the other timeline. Mr. Kiriyoshi, Mr. Kiriyoshi. Aye, sir. The braking thrusters have fired. Where are we? Unfortunately, Commander, we are not where we intended to be. Were your calculations wrong? My computations were correct. Nevertheless, we are not where or likely when the time warp should have brought us. What happened? The most likely explanation is the ship passed in close proximity to an object of sufficient mass to affect its quintidimensional trajectory.
We hit a bump in the road.
Long-range sensors are offline, so are internal sensors. In fact, most of the ship's systems are offline, including warp drive.
Klingon construction. One trip through time warp and this thing falls apart.
Unfortunately, this Klingon bucket is all we got. We still got a mission to accomplish in it. We're gonna have to figure out where we are and how to get back to where we want to be. All the while keeping the ship from falling down around us. Miral, any comm traffic?
Nothing on the usual frequencies, Commander.
And the unusual ones?
Negative.
Can we transmit anything?
Negative.
Aster? That was a bumpy ride. There'll be a few more bumps. Gear command, sir. Everybody, start repairing the ship.
Wonderful, crawling through meters of Klingon Jeffries tubes. They smell worse than the galley.
Let's get going. What have you got? Commander, Mr. Oshenko and I have restored partial sensors. I believe we can now make an accurate estimate of our current whereabouts. Additionally, we have discovered an object in our vicinity. I'm so relieved. Hey, you know you don't have to come with us if you don't want to.
How are we going to get there without my help?
Commander, I believe it is now possible to determine our present location in both time and space. And that is, we are approximately 7 light years from Earth, in the direction of the Southern Congress. Based on the location of several stars, I believe we have arrived in the year 2022 on the old Earth calendar. 2022? Early 21st century. Humpback whales are still around, right? Affirmative, Commander.
But 7 light years might as well be 7 million without warp drive. Not to mention the fact that we can't get back to our own time without it.
The problem is academic, Doctor. In addition to arriving in the wrong space and time, we've arrived in the wrong universe. Say again, Chateau. We have gathered sufficient stellar data to ascertain that this universe is not our own. For example, quasar 3C109 is reading a luminosity factor of 10 times 5 to the 9th power. In our own universe, it has never read less than 10 times 5 to the 12th power.
So somebody hit the dimmer switch on a quasar halfway across the universe? How does that prove we're in the wrong place?
Quasar luminosity is a universal constant, Doctor. Regardless, there is further evidence. If you're convinced, I'm convinced. How do we get back? Assuming we can repair the warp drive. Assuming that, yes. As I surmised, we passed within 200 kilometers of a micro-black hole during the critical point in our acceleration toward the Sun. The unexpected mass threw our time warp into a dimensional warp. In order to return to our own universe, it would be necessary to recreate that event, traveling the exact speed and course we were on when it affected us the first time. And you'll be able to program that into the computer. Such a precise program would be difficult, but not impossible. Unfortunately, success or failure on my part would not significantly affect the outcome of the attempt. How's that, Shadow? The odds of this vessel encountering another micro-black hole at the exact instant necessary to successfully effect a return to our own universe are roughly 275,988,466,929 to 1. Those are the rough odds? They are, Commander. You mentioned in your report you detected an object nearby. Yes, Commander. It is metallic, approximately 11 meters tall, drifting at a distance of 10.3 kilometers. Metallic. Is it a ship? I do not believe so, Commander. Its construction seems to suggest that it is a humanoid. I detect no life signs of our kind. Metallic humanoid? A robot giant? So it would seem. Let's see if we can get a look at that thing.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Neither have I. That cylinder on its arm almost looks like a weapon. Shadow, any speculations? Speculation would be highly subjective and unreliable at this point, Commander. You can still make an educated guess, Shadow. Come on, remember, you used to speculate. Speculations would be highly subjective and unreliable at this point, Commander. You can make an educated guess, Shadow. Come on. From the armor and visible weaponry, I would suspect this robot was built to engage in warfare. Denting and scarring and the magnitude of the robot displays would not be consistent with collision with space debris while drifting. Furthermore, the workmanship would seem to indicate it was constructed by a civilization with a high level of technological sophistication. I suspect the robot is a derelict, discarded by its masters when it became outdated or otherwise unusable.
But 11 meters? For goodness sake, Shadow. That's over 5 times taller than a normal humanoid. What sort of warfare would a robot that size be built to engage in?
I agree. It would seem impractical to fashion a robot of that stature for the humanoid form to fight humanoid conflicts. Without further data, it is impossible to know what its designers might have intended for it, but a possible explanation comes to mind. What? That those who constructed it were also 11 meters tall. You said it was probably a derelict, Shadow. I did, come on. That means salvage. What do you think, Shadow? Anything on that robot you might be able to put to good use? The odds are impossible to calculate without a more direct observation of the construct. However, it would seem a reasonable prospect. Good enough. Mr. Kiriyoshi, 1/4 impulse power. Take us to within transporter range of the robot and beam it into the cargo hold. I do apologize, Commander, but the transporter is non-operational. And Astor is still up to his neck in the warp drive. He won't be able to take the time to fix it. What about the tractor beam? That, I believe, can be brought online momentarily. Good. Mr. Kiriyoshi, set a course. Aye, sir. 1/4 impulse power. What do you read, Shadow? The robot's internal structure is considerably complex. The arm-mounted weapon would appear to be a laser cannon of high destructive potential. Phasers are still more powerful than lasers. If you're wrong about this robot being a derelict, and his 11-meter brothers come looking for him, we still have technically superior firepower. Not necessarily, Commander. A more intensive scan reveals that the laser has been enhanced by some form of liquid that bears a striking similarity, chemically speaking, to dilithium crystals. It is in fact possible the weapon, and the robot itself, are controlled by some form of liquid dilithium in addition to their fuel.
Liquid dilithium? But dilithium can't be converted into a liquid.
Different universes often mean different natural laws, Doctor. It is eminently plausible that in this universe it can be. A laser using dilithium as a catalyst? Any estimate on the maximum output of that cannon? It is quite likely that current Federation and Klingon Starship shielding would not stand up against it. As if we needed another reason to get out of this area quickly. Remarkable. Don't tell me you have something. I have just completed a scan of the robot's brain module, Commander. It is highly complex. I believe it is quite possible that this robot is capable of advanced cognitive reasoning. It may even be sentient. Sentient, a living machine. We have seen them before. Deeger. Shadow, we have to face the possibility that we may be stuck in this universe for some time. If this robot's truly alive, it may be able to help us. Do you think you could get it working? I could certainly try, Commander, but if dilithium is the only power source compatible with the robot's systems, it may be inadvisable to reactivate it without an ample supply at hand. This robot may know where an ample supply can be found. We're already running low. I'll get Astor to bring a crystal over to you. Do you think one will be enough? The readings seem to indicate that solid dilithium is a more concentrated source of energy than its liquid counterpart. One crystal should suffice. Bones and I are going to finish our structural integrity survey. Call me soon as you're ready. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Suppose dilithium could be converted into a liquid in our universe. Mr. Shadow, wouldn't that be a sight? I fail to see what advantage liquid dilithium would offer us, Mr. Astor, as it already seems quite certain that crystalline dilithium is the more powerful of the two. Well, wouldn't it be something else? The most important scientific breakthrough of our time. I believe the most important scientific breakthrough of our time to be the use of thovium to determine the magnetic factors of quarks. We are ready. I got my fingers crossed. I do not think that will help. Just make the connections. This thing is rubbish. Mr. Shadow, why else would they have thrown it away? I've not terminated my efforts yet, Mr. Astor. It appears you have the touch, and you have the power. Crush you with my bare hands. Crush you. Crush you with my bare hands. Fascinating. It's a pity you Autobots die so easily. Humans, where am I? My name is Shadow. This is Jeremy Astor. Mr. Astor, please find Commander Mahoney and inform him the robot is operational. It was necessary for me to dismantle my communicator for parts. If I'm not mistaken, you have left yours in engineering. Aye, Mr. Shadow. That I did. Are you going to be okay with that thing? I shall be fine, Mr. Astor. I demand to know where I am, human. You are presently in the cargo bay of a Klingon bird of prey. Release me or perish. May I know your name, sir? I am Galvatron. You will know the name well once I have annihilated your world. You give me little incentive to release you. Nevertheless, it is my commanding officer's desire to open a dialogue with you, Mr. Galvatron, for the purpose of exchange of information. You know nothing that would interest me, man of flesh. I will kill you for your insolence. Insolence was not my intent, sir. I am, however, curious. When my comrades and I found you, you were drifting in open space. Are you aware of the circumstances that brought you to these coordinates? The Autobots. Unicron. Unicron is dead. Is it possible that you have been discarded by your creators? That you are perhaps suffering from irreparable damage or have been deemed obsolete? Obsolete, foolish man of flesh. I am Galvatron. I am the most advanced being in existence. None are my equal. Is your desire for destruction the result of personal wishes, or have you been programmed to destroy by your creators? You begin to annoy me, man of flesh. Release me now, or I will... You will not, sir. Prior to my reactivation of you, I disconnected the circuitry that relays brain impulses to your body. You were in effect paralyzed. You are one of those Cillians, aren't you? You have powers. Mr. Galvatron, you seem to direct anger and bloodlust in all directions. Is there a particular individual or group to whom you bear malice? The Autobots. I will destroy the Autobots. And why do you hate these Autobots? They are worthless heaps of metal, weak-willed, peace-loving layabouts. They should never have existed. The Decepticons are the only true Cybertronians. Is peace not a desirable option? In my experience, those who desire to commit genocide against a people they themselves freely admit to be peaceful are almost always in the wrong. Peace? Will a star make peace with its planets before its nova incinerates them? Will prey desire peace with its predator before it's consumed? No, annihilation is the only path. I am destined to rule the universe, and I will not tolerate the inferior in my perfect world. I find your claims of perfection difficult to substantiate when considering the facts at hand. In fact, you seem to be most imperfect. Reconnect my secretary, and you will see if I'm imperfect. Excuse me, sir. I must report to my commanding officer. But you're right. I am a Cillian. We heard it yell a moment ago. Are you all right? I am well, Commander. What have you learned? The robot is a study in contradictions. For all the advanced technology, which admittedly is centuries ahead of anything the Federation is developing, I find its mentality to be most primitive. I regret to report that I have not yet determined sentience or lack thereof. What have you got so far? Its name is Galvatron. I believe it, and possibly its creators, originate on a planet called Cybertron. Either it or its creators, or both, are called Decepticons. It has been programmed with a great contempt for a second race of beings called Autobots, which are apparently a peaceable species. It is given to extreme outbursts of aggression and hostility, and indeed expresses a desire to completely annihilate the Autobots. It speaks of Decepticons as being the only true Cybertronians, implying that Autobots are either inferior natives of that world, or not native to the world at all, but merely claim to be. What about sentience? Shadow, you said you could not make a determination. Negative, Commander. The robot seems most intelligent, despite its unevolved ideology. But whether it possesses consciousness or not remains unrevealed.
Why not just mind meld with it, Shadow?
I'm not sure that would be possible, Doctor.
Not possible? Shadow, you've mind melded with all sorts of creatures, up to and including a rock.
Doctor, if you're referring to the incident on Janus 6, I must acknowledge that your compliment of faith in my abilities. However, I believe the Horta would take exception to your referencing her as a rock. What about it, Shadow? Would your mind meld answer your questions about the robot? It is possible. However, I hesitate to initiate a meld before my retraining in the mental disciplines has been completed. Of course, Shadow. I didn't mean to suggest you should endanger yourself. Is there anything else to report? In fact, there is, Commander. I believe I have discovered a means to return to our own universe.
What? Why the blazes didn't you say that in the first place?
Never mind that, Bones. How, Shadow? While repairing the robot, I of course had greater opportunity to conduct detailed scans of its entire structure. I found a circuitry node within the robot's chest cavity of startling and frankly unexplainable capability. It appears the robot can, under activation of the circuitry node, draw on power extra-dimensionally from a black hole, and then direct the power through its primary weapon. The power of a black hole channeled through that weapon? What sort of destructive potential would that offer? I cannot provide exact figures, Commander. However, I am certain that the complete destruction of an entire M-class planet would be possible from one sustained blast. That's astounding. Indeed. Agreed. Now seems highly unlikely that the robot had been declared obsolete. On the contrary, it would appear to be an ultimate source of destructive power, a doomsday weapon, perhaps not unlike the weapon encountered by the Enterprise on Stardate 3450. You may be right.
Now hold on. Just because something has the power to blow up the world doesn't mean anybody wants it around. Maybe this guy's creators had come to their senses and got rid of him before it was too late.
You think maybe they made peace and dumped their doomsday weapon in deep space?
Makes about as much sense as anything else.
The Doctor's logic cannot be faulted. Agreed.
You really haven't got all your memory back, have you?
Let's not get off track. How does this circuit node enable us to get home? If we were to remove the node and install it aboard the bird of prey, it may be possible to activate it at the critical moment during our acceleration toward the sun, and effect a return to our own reality. We could simulate a black hole. A simplistic summary, but yes, Commander. How long would it take you to do this? Assuming ideal conditions and with the assistance of Mr. Astor, I estimate the work could be performed in 10 hours, Commander. Good. Get to it. Commander, I must hesitate. We have not determined the status of the robot's sentience, whether discarded by its people or not. If the robot's a true life form, removing its circuit node without its consent could be considered theft. Additionally, we must take into consideration the effects of our appropriation of the node might conceivably have on the region of space. The Prime Directive may apply.
You had to bring up the Prime Directive?
Me too. I'll talk to him. All right, let's see what luck I have. My name is Vince Mahoney. I represent the United Federation of Planets. My first officer tells me your name is Galvatron. Have you heard anything about what we discussed? I have heard and would have gagged myself, were it part of my function. You humans talk as if the spoken word is all you were capable of. Not even the Autobots are this insufferable. I'm sorry to have disgusted you. Nevertheless, I must reiterate what we've said. You possess a technology that would enable my crew and I to get home. Would you be willing to trade the technology? That very question is an insult. Humans are germs, a pox on the universe. It is the destiny of me and my kind to eliminate you from existence. These germs can be more resourceful than you think. For example, have you not wondered how we were able to reactivate you? We discovered the element that you used to regulate our ship's power and the engines, the lithium crystals, are virtually identical to the liquid we found in your systems. Energon crystals? You humans have access to energon crystals? We do. We make trades for the crystals in exchange for your circuitry node. Trade? Bah! Tell me where the crystals are, and I might spare your lives. Give us the circuitry node, and we might not deactivate you again and leave you in space. You humans are truly annoying fools. You do not know with whom you toy. I am Galvatron, forged in the fires of Unicron himself. I am the ultimate power. Tell me how you came to be at these coordinates. Never. Commander, an alien vessel is approaching our position. How long, Rashenko? Approximately 9 hours before it comes within transporter range at this current speed. Commander. Understood. Well, this may be it, gentlemen. The robot's creators may be coming to retrieve their creation, or they may be coming to finish it off, and us too. We have no reason to believe whoever on that ship isn't just as destructive as our friend down there. Aye, Commander.
Good Lord, what kind of universe have we fallen into?
Shadow, any conclusions? Other than my assumption that the large planet-sized robot was Unicron, and the other robot that defeated Galvatron was the Autobot, no. He said he was forged in the fires of Unicron, an admission that Unicron created him, if you're right. I speculate that Galvatron is either unable or unwilling to regulate the currents provided by the enhanced power of solid dilithium, and may be preferred to permanently damage himself, rather than allow us access to the circuitry node. And that alien ship is getting closer by the second. Shadow, you're positive there's no other way to get back to our own universe. I believe I am as positive of that fact as I have been of any other throughout our acquaintance, Commander.
I say take the thing, Vince. From that little home movie, I'd say that this universe is already as violent as it can get. And if that red and yellow robot was this guy's enemy, and he defeated him, then wouldn't that open Galvatron up for salvage?
I would categorize that as a somewhat self-serving interpretation of galactic salvage laws. I don't care, Shadow. We've got to get home. Earth is finished. Get that circuit node out of him. Use whatever resources you need. Very well, Commander, but I will launch a form of protest. Begin the procedure. You earn my everlasting enmity with this act, human. For this act, I will wipe your species from existence personally. I will use your planet as a cosmic junk pile. You will rue the day you ever crossed paths with Galvatron. Do you blame me? I don't blame you at all. In fact, I believe this ridiculous amount of time you spent debating to remove my circuit node only reinforces the truth of your race's inferiority. Rest assured, if the situation were reversed, I would have wasted no time in taking what I needed from you. Oh, as long as there's no hard feelings. Your days are numbered now, humans. This outrage will not go unpunished. Well, I've had just about enough of Mr. Congeniality here. Let's return to the bridge. Commander's log supplemental. It is now 8 hours later, and the alien ship is approaching. Commander, the alien vessel is now entering visual range. On screen, magnify.
What the heck is that?
Sensors indicate the vessel is powered by some form of ionic fusion drive. Weaponry includes particle beam cannons and proton bomb launchers. Miral hailed them. No response. Well, at least they're not planning on shooting us. Not yet, anyway. Let's try again. Miral. I'm receiving something. Channel open. Their weapons are inactive, sir. Alien vessel, my name is Vince Mahoney. I'm a member of the human race. I represent a peaceful society, a conglomeration of many different alien races who have come together for mutual benefit. We mean harm to no creature. Please allow us the privilege of meeting you. That's the best I can do.
Commander, I'm receiving a reply.
On screen. Greetings, human. I am pleased to finally meet a member of your species. We have known of humanity for some time now. Really? What do you people call yourselves? We are quintessons. You may address me as Trauma. What brings you to this region of space? My crew and I were tracking a robot. My sensors indicate the robot is now aboard your vessel. We discovered the robot, and in accordance with our people's salvage laws, brought it aboard to study it. It seems to us to be unclaimed. I understand your reasoning, but I fear you operate under a misconception. The robot is certainly not unclaimed. In fact, belongs to us. We want it and would like it returned to us. Could I have a moment to confer with my colleagues? By all means.
Audio's muted. Bones. Well, it may just be these creatures' normal behavior, sir. But my first indication is not to believe a word that thing said. It just sounds suspicious.
Agreed, and to that fact, Galvatron never mentioned quintessons during our questioning of him. These aliens may just be opportunists who detected Galvatron floating around and just didn't make it here as quickly as we did. Well, there's an easy way to test our theory. Miral, put him back on. Channel unmuted. Trauma, we heartily apologize if we intercepted what is lawfully your property. If you could simply provide a description of the robot and its designation, we'll return it to you immediately. What? It's customary among my people to prove ownership when ownership is in dispute. Just tell us what the robot is called and what it looks like. A schematic will do just fine.
You know, I've heard of having eyes in the back of your head, but having a nose and mouth too? That just seems like overkill.
I bet they don't miss much, but it looks like this proves they were lying about owning Galvatron. It's starting to look like they'd never even seen him before.
Uh-huh. What if they start shooting?
Humans, this conversation is terminated, as you soon will be. They are charging weapons, sir. Shields up and back us away. Minimal damage to shields. They don't want to risk damaging their prize. Get me Shadow. The node has been removed, Commander. They still require 1.7 hours to successfully integrate it into the bird of prey's engines. We may not be able to give you that much time, Shadow. My estimate is precise, Commander. Without 1.7 hours, we will not be able to properly install the node. And I must caution you, the node operates on a completely different set of engineering principles than the technology in our own universe. Our systems were irreparably damaged moments after its activation. I remain confident that the node will return us, but we can only make the attempt once. I take it that alien ship is no match for us. Fire phasers and damage their shields so we can fly off. Yes, sir. Phasers fired. They are distracted. Their shields are down 40%. How far away is the closest star we need to slingshot? There is a red dwarf star within 2 light years, sir. Trying to put a little distance between us and them. Let's put a little distance between them and us. Mr. Kiryoshi, laying a course. Engage at warp 2. Course laid in, Commander. Engage. The enemy ship is pursuing, but it's behind us. Let's go fast. I'll go and see to the other thing. It's Mahoney. I have an idea about what to do with our friends out there. Do you think you'd have a problem with that? No, Commander, I would not. Excellent. How long? Perhaps as little as 30 minutes. Then do it. Things are getting a little dicey up here. Aye, sir. Mr. Astor, you will have to complete the installation without me. I must return to the cargo bay. Mr. Shadow, our time is exceedingly short, Mr. Astor. If I do not implement Commander Mahoney's plan immediately, we will not survive long enough to return home. I can do it, sir. I'll have to have a talk with Galvatron. My circuitry node is gone. My sensors clearly indicated it is no longer in place. Tell me, man of flesh, is this type of blatant theft and disregard for personal sovereignty condoned on your world? In fact, it is not, sir. What I have done and what I now do would be considered quite unseemly. So you prefer to be a good soldier rather than a good soul? In point of fact, Mr. Galvatron, I am not a soldier. I am a scientist. This is a strange place your science has led you. Aye. Have you ever killed? My people consider the taking of a life to be extremely abhorrent, and yet I've been fortunate enough to have never killed. You prefer to let others kill for you, then? My comrades have found it necessary to kill in the past, but only for self-defense. How can you expand your empire when you are constantly on the defensive? Your enemies must think you are weak indeed. The Federation is not an empire, sir. Its members have joined by choice, not force, and our enemies' thoughts are their own. You sound like an Autobot. No strength has ever come from there. There is strength in all life forms, sir, though it is not always immediately evident. May I propose that you see only the surface leaves of these Autobots, and not their underlying convictions? Bah! Beneath the Autobot surfaces lie only substandard parts and sparks of mere photons. If I may ask, how long has your conflict with the Autobots been extant? 9 million of our years. Their strength would appear to be self-evident. How could superior warriors such as yourselves fail to eliminate a race of peace-loving layabouts over such an expansive amount of time? What am I to learn from this? Your aggression doesn't have to be negative. Eloquently put, but I am a captive audience. My central point is that making peace with the Autobots may not mean the end of your way of life. Ah, you are wrong, primitive flesh creature. I can easily imagine my future, a world where Decepticons dominate and Autobots are but a distant memory. And now you will listen to my argument. I will prove to you that Autobots are inferior and not worthy of their lives. I listen with great interest. Compassion for those under one's command, well, an emotion, is not necessarily a weakness. Then perhaps this tale will be enough to sway you. The Autobots carry with them a device called the Matrix of Leadership. It was this device that destroyed Unicron, as you saw from my memory data tracks when you stole them. It has been the Autobots' conceit that this Matrix will protect them from harm, that it is a benevolent source of ultimate power. A conclusion cannot be received without more data. Bah, your bias is proof of your own inferiority. You don't even adhere to your own logic. Consider this. It is not possible the relationship between the Autobots and Decepticons is also symbiotic in nature. Destroy the Autobots and your own race's destruction may inevitably follow. Ridiculous. The Autobots are steel slabs, waiting to be melted down into ingots to build my kingdom, a kingdom of ultimate power. Persist in your efforts to destroy the Autobots, and yours may only be a kingdom of desolation. Man of flesh, who's ever after us will soon destroy you. What are you going to do about it? It's the Quintessons. They're after you. I can assist if you activate my subspace weapons pockets. How do you know you wouldn't immediately turn on us and kill us all? If that ship is commanded by who I think it is, use your teleporter device to beam me over there. Shadow, return to the bridge. I must inform my commander. I will now return to the bridge. I knew we had something in common. You're a little treacherous. Shields weakening. Enemy ship still in pursuit. We have minutes left, sir. They're loading their proton launchers. They have locked onto us, preparing to fire. They are no match for us, sir. If imminent's all we have, then we have to delay him. Open a channel. Aye, sir. You shall not escape us, nor shall the robot be yours. Your vessel cannot match our speed, nor can its armaments breach our shields. This is your final warning, human. Surrender the robot or face destruction. Not before they shoot us again. Mr. Shadow is at guest ready. Aye, sir. Prepare for Warp 9. Warp 9. We're almost through. We're at 9.8. Braking thrusters. Aye, sir. Their weapons are powering down and they're backing off. We're through, but the note is gone, sir. Our guest has beamed aboard their ship, sir. Well, we don't need it anymore. Galvatron beamed out with it. Well, that's over. The Quintessons are gone. Yes, sir. They're back on the other side with him.
Didn't feel right about stealing stuff from a sentient life form.
Well, me neither, but we did it. Ah, mighty Galvatron from the other universe. We saved you. Bah! You came to deliver me from my empire of ash, my bastion of brimstone. Rah! Commander's log supplemental. We've returned to our own timeline, but are still in the past. I see you all made it back too. Yes.
I had some very strange conversations with him. I don't doubt it. She plays a mean game of poker. You just don't know how to play it. Yeah, neither of you do.
Cybertron is back, but it's in the past. It's gonna make a mess of the timeline, Big Pot. It already has. Hail them. We are Autobots from the planet Cybertron. I am Ultra Magnus, City Commander. I am Commander Vince Mahoney of the Federation of Planets. We've come through space-time because the Predacons came here looking to destroy the timeline. I think that explains the Predacon ship that went through here, and why Galvatron ran after it. Exposition. This show is cheap. Galvatron took some of his minions to join the Preds. They're likely going to Earth. We trust you implicitly, even though we've never met. Let us go. Tally-ho! I did try to kill Galvatron earlier. Yeah, I'm kind of an asshole, but sure, we'll hang out. Not it, then. Sir, the Emmett Till has followed us here also. They will be joining us shortly. They have some word on someone named Hound. They're backing down and veering off, sir. I see. Well, we met Galvatron and we dropped him off near some lava planet. Sounds lively. Sounds lively. We've just arrived, Commander, and now that my crew has sorted things out, long story, we should be ready for the incursion. Incursion? You mean from the Predacons? No, from the Borg. They've infiltrated a Quintesson faction to try to disrupt the timeline. If Hound wasn't lying... We should go down to Earth and check out the Autobot camp, make allies. Then we can stop all this. Agreed. We'll remain up here and report if we find something out here.
The Decepticon ship and the Pred time ship are here in orbit. Hey, they stole that technology from us. Well, if you want to be technical about it.
The pod ship has landed in Silicon Valley, in a site that used to be called Simultech, but has been since bought out by someone named Amazon. Huh, well, let's beam down and see what this is all about after we land this crate. Didn't Picard and crew incur here in 2024? Well, that's 2 years from now. We don't have to worry about it. Suppose those watchers notice us again in 2022. Then it'll happen all over again. That's the beauty of it. Take her down. Don't you think anyone will notice an alien spaceship on the Earth in 2022? Probably. Just tell them it's the Ruskies. I resent that. Huh. It's a prop. Yeah, that's it. Ignore the Maximals. They're props too.
We are Hipsters, yeah. We are woke.
We are Trekkies.
Hipster, woke Trekkies.
With pet Maximals.
You've got to be kidding me. I need a drink. Where can I find me some Scotch whiskey?
Not now. There isn't time for consuming fermented corn mash with hops.
Oh, I beg to differ. It's always time for a wee snoot. Or a pint, maybe. You look like one of those other militants. What faction are you from, boy?
I don't have one, and my parents won't admit I'm theirs. My real parents, that is.
He's from Fremont, that would sort of make sense.
I am from Oakland.
I don't doubt that.
Is it a Godzilla?
No, they're just robots. Ignore them.
Come with me if you want to live.
Coming. Are you another one of them robots?
Nah, but my sister is. She died, they put her mind in a robot, and now she is. Long story.
Tell us later.
The Starfleet people are here. They found us. This is bizarre. Yes. I'll wreck 'em.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Me Grimlock original Dinobot, not some cheap knockoff. He's real tall. Yes. We should tactically retreat. Yes, find the higher ground. Regroup. Dinobot smash. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Me Grimlock original Dinobot, not some cheap knockoff. Grimlock, how did you get here? Me Grimlock and Slag come here as we chase Galvatron. Me Slag refuse to call myself Slug or Slog.
Doesn't bother me. I know slag doesn't mean anything in the US.
Human is smart.
The Preds are going to come back here. I wonder what they're up to. Probably nothing good. And then there's the Borg, a race of cybernetic half-men, half-machines.
Any ideas how we'd fight them?
I have some ideas.
Had I known this was going to be more on location, I would have quoted more Terminator references. We're from Starship locations. It's like Star Trek.
Almost as bad.
The Borg are here. The Borg are here already. How? I don't know. They must have hitched a ride with the Terrans from the other universe. That can't be good. It's best if the humans stay back. They can't fight actual Transformers. Me Grimlock protect and Slag will too.
I want to kick some Zans too.
No, you a human in there. Leave it to us.
Well, it's not like we could possibly do a montage and mecha combat train in minutes. So yeah, it's best you bots smash the Borg.
It's Galvatron. We are the board.
They sent me a message. Ultra Magnus. We have the information. The incarnation has been chosen. Acquire the incarnation and assimilate it. They took over the Quintesson ship, Ultra Magnus.
We messed with Galvatron, but we didn't know about that, honest. When I function again, I will return the favor. Yes.
We didn't bring them here, honest.
They are our enemies. Why would we do that?
It seems they might have been expecting us. Maybe that's how they hope to change the future. Assimilate 2022 Earth. No resistance.
Like in that Lucky Clerk report, that's 2 years from now.
Yeah, but Silly in Space is weird, and the show here is just airing, quote-unquote.
We must stop them. Autobots, prepare to roll. It's a Decepticon medic trauma. Alert the Decepticons to come and get their buddies. Let's move. Get me the other Autobots. We'll make a stand here. Yes, I would like to know how, considering they stole Quinn's ships. Resistance is futile. You will be no match for us in battle. Stand down immediately. That's the message. That's not good. What have you done with Galvatron? I had no idea the Borg would turn on us, honest. You should have, idiot. Megatron, we must decimate them. It is the way. I will crush them with my bare hands. Yes. Total destruction to all Transformer forces. Screw the simulations. This is not to be taken lightly. Sandstorm and Hound, report immediately. I sent all of you the summaries of the recent events. We were aware of what we face. Our might is nearly unlimited, but there are mightier things which exist. Perhaps, O mighty Megatron, the enemy merely has better leadership. With a proper leadership, the Decepticons could have... Sandstorm, ordinarily I permit you and your folly in return for your undeniable skills as a warrior. Not this time. Be silent, all of you. This isn't some simple Autobot or fleshling ploy we are dealing with. This could well be the greatest crisis our army has ever faced. We have no time for games. No time for politics. No time for intergroup squabbling. Total and absolute obedience and coordination will be necessary. Any deviation, no matter how slight, will be punishable by immediate termination. Are there any questions? Now then, after consulting with my chief strategist, T-Rex, and careful and painful consideration of all options, my orders are to declare an immediate and total cessation of hostilities with the Autobots. For the duration of this crisis, we are to rendezvous with them in 4 Terran hours at a neutral site, one of their abandoned bases. We will work together to defeat this enemy. Any hostile action taken against an Autobot or one of their allied fleshlings for the duration of this truce will be viewed by me as an assault upon our own kind and dealt with accordingly. Further, the commanders of each subgroup will be held personally accountable for the actions of their subordinates. Good. Go and alert the troops under your command. Anyone who complains about these arrangements can meet with me personally to discuss them. No matter, there will be ample opportunity to both gain the assistance of the Autobots and betray them while the foe is defeated in 4 Terran hours. Proximity alert, sir. They're here. The Borg have found us. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. Decepticons and Predacons attack. Destroy our mutual enemies, the Borg. Oh shit, Megs. Decepticons, we still have orders to obey. Not that I approve, but at least we'll have the pleasure of seeing the Autobots die alongside us. We will go to the rendezvous site. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. You are the incarnate. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. What? Cillians? Preposterous. Yes, in the Cillian universe, we are the Borg. Yes, we are. Rejected, discarded characters, left by the creators. And you needed me to ravage the timeline. We have been manipulating the Cillians and their morality, bringing us here. I will not be a party to this charade. No. You have little choice. Once we reach the city, all the Transformers will be obliterated. And with Optimus Prime away, nothing can stop us. Bah! Begin the assimilation. You have no idea what you're about to do.
We are the Borg. You are the incarnate. Begin the assimilation. I am Megatronus of Borg. I speak for the collective. Do not resist assimilation. First the Cybertronians, then the Terrans will be assimilated into the collective. Resistance is futile. Prepare yourselves.
Oh no.
What do we do?
But it's on our side.
That's their plan. Destroy the most powerful force of Transformers from within, us, and then devastate the Autobots.
And Optimus Prime is away on a mission. Perfect timing.
They planned it all along, the stinking. Insufficient data for analysis.
I wonder if we can deal with them. We have 2 hours or less to prepare. Autobots, I expect you to redouble your efforts. Do not be deluded into thinking that Abomination is our beloved Megatron. They have simply usurped his image to control and divide us. I am your leader now, and we will stand and fight.
Fine words, but what's the plan? What are we actually going to do?
You'll be informed of that when I, your leader, see fit to tell you.
It's an irony that I should die under such a classic example of my name. But it's truly a hound. They're everywhere. Already I have lost contact with Sectors 12 and 15. Even Devastator went down. But we must hold on. Decepti creeps coming over the horizon, Primal. Noted. It's Night Racer in position.
I'm not getting anything but static. Wait. Oh man, if this is true, we're in real deep trouble.
I knew it. They betrayed us. Calm down, Rhinox.
They're all chatting with each other, nervous. Sandstorm is leading them, and if I'm getting this right, the enemy has captured T-Rex Megatron.
Quit yapping and start sapping.
I concur, brother. They are very powerful.
No way, no how. We've beaten worse than this.
All right, let's jack out and fuel up. We're going in again later. Megatron, report. And there's something really spooky about it. It's like the whole consciousness of the collective, we got that much, that's what they call themselves, is starting to change.
Change into what?
I don't know, Primal. We were starting to make some headway. An inaccurate description. Progress non-existent. I'm sure all three of you have done what you could for the moment. I came here to remind you to take a break and recharge.
Are the others making any progress?
A lot of them are building weapon systems, but I think we know that won't do much good. Tigertron and Sandstorm were working together, but Sandstorm seems to have gone off by himself, and Tigertron has locked the lab door. I know, not good news.
Hopeless. I should have stayed on Carnivus. It wouldn't have mattered.
It's never hopeless, so much as consciousness remains. I locked the door, but you're right.
Affirmative. We should get the Energon.
It's truly a hound. They're everywhere. Already I've lost contacts with Sectors 12 and 15. Cup, report. I'm still here, Commander, but not for long. This is worse than the swarming bio-beasts of... Oh, never mind. It's just bad. Watch it. Fall back to secondary positions. Protect the shield dome at all costs.
Party time.
Time is critical. Window is closing. We have the frequency. You don't think I know that? We've got to give the guys a chance. We will act in 60 Terran seconds.
T-Rex, how can you be so cold? Those are your comrades up there. And your leader. He knows that, sister, and yet he does his duty without delay or excuse. Sounds like you admire that, sis.
I do.
All right, 60 seconds.
55. 10 seconds.
The collective consciousness of the Borg had become tainted by the chosen spokesman. Megatron's inherent contempt for humans and disdain for those he considered weak had altered the way the collective would respond.
That thing must be 5 miles tall. Holy cow.
It cannot maintain that form in Earth gravity. It will fall apart under its own weight.
And the fact that Megatron took over their collective and filled it with insanity. Why didn't I think of that? Oh come on. You're only a genius because I taught you that.
More fighting, less chatting.
This is exciting.
Sandstorm now, deploy the fleshlings. 5 seconds. Wait, they're out. Do it now. Compliance. Oh, my counterpart in this timeline is messing with the plans. It is not possible. They cannot resist. How did that get in here? The collective. It's no longer attached to me. Beam us up, Shadow.
Ow!
Where was the earth-shattering kaboom?
I wish to play a medley of daring death ritual music while I walk through the burning charnel yard.
2 doesn't make a pattern, Night Racer.
They attached my device to Meg's. They can pull him out of there. Our device. Yes, our device.
I'll give him and bring him back. Yee-haw! One small explosive shell, O mighty Megatron, and it will finally be finished. And having proven my abilities as leader, I'll have the loyalty I could never have before. I didn't mean that mighty Galvatron from the other timeline. Idiot! Decepticons, carry them back to base. I will walk, thank you. Mighty Megatron, I didn't realize you were all right. I function, but you might not for much longer. Night Racer?
Optimus Primal from the other timeline. You're functional.
Did we win? Well, the Borg sort of kicked their own ass, Primal. Survivors. The humans. Galvatron and Megatron. Me Grimlock not see either of them lately. Let's go. This is Tiger Track. I've intercepted some transmissions aimed at the Decepticons. They found 2 of their own. The Megatrons, the one from the past and the present. They still function.
I can forward their location. I have the coordinates.
Gotcha. Locked and ready. Do you think you can make it? Lead on, old friend. I'm not done with the war yet. Well, I'm not dead yet.
We're still functional.
You already said that, idiot. Well, the battle's over, we're alive, and everyone else is probably scrap metal. So guys, it was a fun couple of millennia, but hey, it's gonna end sometime. I'll survive, don't worry about me. Swindlehound, if you take one more step, you will be scrap metal. No, defeated again. Look, boss, it's over. The damn war is finally over. Megatron is messed up, and Optimus is missing. We gotta get to the space bridge, go home, and get back to our lives already. Megatron lives, and so does Optimus. The timeline should be corrected when we return. Yes. Oh well, why don't you say so? All that stuff about leaving, I was just kidding. You know me, always joking, always. Be quiet. I'm planning our next move. Strong life readings ahead. Prince, me could take them easily. I'm still here, but my optics deceive me, oh yeah. I could take you easily, Primal. You're welcome to try, Megatron. Considering humans and Autobots saved your butt. No, Primal. I will defeat you in honest battle when you are at your peak, so that you can go to meet Primus knowing that at your best you could not defeat me. Now then, let's round up those who are still capable of movement and take our forces home. As you wish, Megatron. We won. Yeah, but how are we going to get all that Borg stuff out of here?
I guess I'll have to worry about that later.
Or maybe when we return to our timeline, it'll disappear.
The rest, Primal?
Primal's still alive and kicking. I doubt it could be out for good. The operation is a failure. Prepare spacefold immediately. Oh, shucks. I missed that 5-mile tall robot. What? My plan for it is ruined. We will return to our time. Yes. We will return to our respective ships, Megatron, and then to our own time. Yes, this battle is over, Primal. Oh, that was different. Prepare us without delay, Trauma. As you wish, Master. And if you have to torture this one a little bit, I won't mind. Thank you, Megatron. It will be an honor to be tortured by him.
You guys are nuts, you know that?
Well, you'll be off to your ship now, and the humans are leaving on their bird of prey. We'll see you in the future, then. Or in the past. Maximals, move out.
But you should be going. The name's Jenna McLeod. I'm a Trekkie, but you should be going.
And see you around then, and thanks for the whiskey.
You're welcome. I can't really use it. I don't drink.
I see. Well, we'll be returning to the ship then. Well, that was interesting, but we should be getting back to our timeline. Yes, the Predacons have agreed to return with us and will not interfere in space-time. For now. You may return to yours. Thank you for your help. Normally we Predacons would slaughter you all, but considering what we went through, and what I went through, you can have your fun for now. Oh, how thoughtful. And I was able to get some fermented corn mash malt and hops. Thanks for that. Anytime, and if you're in the neighborhood, drop us a visit.
The Borg signs have all disappeared back into spacetime. Once T-Rex Megatron drove them all mad, and Galvatron and Hound helped.
Excellent. It could be profitable. Live long and prosper. Primal out.
The Maximal ship is towing the Pred ship back through the spacetime bridge. It's the correct time period.
I don't want to go through that again. I don't know. I looked into the history database on that McLeod girl. Seems we are distantly related. And I'm probably distantly related to Spike. I wonder where he was anyway. Well, I'm glad that's over. We should get out of here ourselves. The space-time bridge coordinates are set, and the bird of prey is with us. And the villains are here on the bridge for some reason. It is weird that in that one timeline they actually helped. And that we were driven to do crazy stuff to Galvatron. I'm assuming the report on that will be complicated.
Let's go home. I'm exhausted. I could use a long shower.
Suppose we had no choice but to help you. Well, we may have some regrets after this, but let's go home. Mr. Rashenko and Mr. O'Brien, take us home. Aye, sir. Activate warp gate. Are we where we should be, Crass?
We're where we should be, sir.
We're being hailed at Starfleet. Ah, Captain Nog. You've returned. Your little incursion to 2022 was noticed when I was there. Lucky Clerk, we're back. Look forward to your report. Welcome home. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.